Studio 666 is a campy horror movie in the vein of The Evil Dead, and like that 80s classic, there are some insane, gory deaths along the way. Warning: the following contains spoilers for Studio 666, currently out in theaters. Studio 666 brought Foo Fighters to the big screen in a movie combining rock and roll and video nasty-styled horror movies. It was basically A Hard Day's Night meets The Evil Dead. What might have shocked Foo Fighters fans is that it didn't end with a twist where the band made it home safe and sound. It went all in on the gore and ended in classic horror movie style. Almost everyone died, including every member of Foo Fighters except Dave Grohl. The first deaths happened before Foo Fighters ever showed up. The opening featured a flashback scene to the 1990s where someone killed the band Dream Widow while they recorded their new album in the old house. As the movie showed later, it was their lead singer, possessed by a demonic entity. It ended with him taking his own life before flashing to the present day. Kerry King as Krug helping Dave Grohl with his drums in Studio 666. Studio 666 had a minor role for a thrash metal icon. Kerry King, the founding guitarist from Slayer, played Foo Fighters' tech, Krug. His death came at the hands of the demonic entities themselves. Black, spooky smoke flowed into the wall and electrocuted him in one of the more disgustingly gory scenes of the movie, setting up the idea of the Shining-styled haunted house. Will Forte also had a minor role as a restaurant delivery guy. He was a musician and wanted Dave Grohl to listen to his band's demo, despite getting on his bad side by calling Coldplay his favorite band. The mysterious demonic force killed him off-screen. Foo Fighters later found him decapitated in the yard. After the demonic spirit possessed Dave in a scene straight out of The Evil Dead, he began killing his Foo Fighters bandmates after they finished their parts in the song he wanted to finish. The first was Chris, who quit on the band. As he was grilling a couple of hot dogs before leaving, Dave drove his face into the grill. He kept slamming it down until he died, Chris's face becoming one with the hot grill plates. Samantha lived next door to the old house, a self-professed groupie. She also knew about the demons and tried to warn Foo Fighters, but she was too late. While in bed with keyboardist Rami Jaffe, and as they listened to Jackal's Lumberjack song, Dave sliced both of them in half with a chainsaw. Taylor Hawkins was the last band member to complete his part on the song that could unleash demons into the world. The drummer had one task, and that was to keep Dave busy, while the remaining musicians tried to save their friend. However, he made the mistake of finishing his work. Dave threw a cymbal like a frisbee, cutting Taylor's face in half. The top half remained on the cymbal stuck in the wall while the rest of his body slid to the floor. Pat Smear and Nate Mendel were the last two surviving members of Foo Fighters, and they freed Dave from the possession before trying to escape. The problem is that they didn't have the keys, so Pat went under the van to hotwire it. He accidentally drove the wire through the ignition and into Nate's eye, causing him to shift into reverse, squashing Pat's head into the pavement, another disgusting, campy horror death. With the wire driven through his eye, Nate launched the van backward into Barb Weems, who was coming down the road to kill them. Once he hit her, he got out to check, and she drove a knife into his neck, killing him, before dying herself. It seemed Dave Grohl, or the mastermind behind it all, Jeremy Schill, might die next. However, these two were the last deaths of the movie, if you don't count Grohl's soul. To see Dave Grohl killing Foo Fighters, check out Studio 666, in theaters now.